Hello, hello, people of Schmick Squadron. It's your boy, Seth. Also known as Freebird Command, but let's just stick with Seth from Schmick Squadron, shall we? Alright. Now, Donovan already made his own video addressing this, the ban list, and he mentioned in his video that me and Josh both feel that things shouldn't get hit, or more or less, we don't want things to get hit. Not shouldn't. I'm sure he didn't say shouldn't, or maybe I just didn't, I don't know. Maybe I didn't hear it, so my bad. But basically, we feel that we would like for things not to get hit, but at the same time, I think to myself, things are going to get hit, and there's nothing really much about that I can influence. So basically, this video is my thoughts on the ban list. Why do I hope that things aren't going to get hit? And also, what things do I believe are going to get hit? And why they possibly should. Or not even possibly, why they should or would get hit, pretty much. So, let's get into the first part of this is why do I think why do I think things shouldn't get hit? Well, as Donovan touched on a little bit, I feel things shouldn't get hit, or I hope things don't get hit, mainly because partly because I like this meta, honestly. And I know a lot of people are tired of seeing the same 4 decks top: Cosmo, Monarch, BA, or PK Fire, really, and Pendulums. Or Dracopals, whatever you want to call them. But, basically, I like this meta. But also, I'd like to see a meta have a lot of decks. Because generally that doesn't happen. And we're at a time where it actually could happen. However, we're also at a time where it probably likely won't, because of Worlds are around the corner, and generally when Worlds end and when a deck wins, they go to the ban list and they're like, let's hit this. Boom. New era of deck comes in. But at the same time, there's new decks that are coming out that they could just be, Konami could say, there's these decks now, and there's these decks coming in, that there's going to be a wide variety that we may not have to touch things, A lot of these decks could face each other, and not only does it give our players a lot of variety, but it gives our tops a lot of variety. And then, of course, decks coming out during that time as well to the next Worlds, could also come in. But that's the other thing, is that's just not likely to happen, let's be honest. The decks that are topping now are going to get hit. There's no doubt. Whether the top 4 decks of now are going to get hit to the ground or not is not up to me, and is clearly up to Konami. But it is up to our speculation of what could happen. Are these decks going to get hit after Worlds? Absolutely. Are they probably going to wait till Worlds to hit them? Most likely. So, does that mean they'll die, though? Pendulums, I honestly don't think so. Cosmo, I also don't think they're going to kill the deck. It's a TCG exclusive, and honestly, I just don't think it topped as hard as Monarch or BA to warrant it. It's a powerful deck, don't get me wrong. I just don't think Cosmo really warrants that much of that much to be hit into the ground so hard that it's unplayable. So I'd kind of hope Cosmo wouldn't get touched, but actually, more or less, I don't want Monarchs in BA to get hit more than Cosmo. But basically, I don't want the decks to get hit because I want a more diverse meta, but I understand why. The thought, obviously, is the fact that these decks have topped, they've done their thing through the Worlds, through Nats, and it's time to shift. You know, it's time to shift to new decks, and it's time to, they've made their money off these things, it's time to make new money, and it's time to have a new format. And obviously you can't have these or Konami likely doesn't want these top 4 decks to be around for another Worlds. That's just not likely to happen. So, you know, there's my thought on why I would want things to be here, these 4 decks to be here, but why it's just not likely to be there after Worlds. And another thing on Cosmo also, why they'd probably get rid of that is also there's a new deck coming around, Sub-Terrors, and I don't know what the other TCG exclusive is, but basically Cosmo is going to be replaced with that new TCG, or at least I'm expecting of what that is, how it's going to be. You know, there's just not too many ways around that. So, besides that, let's get into the second part of this video, which is Banlist predictions. Banlist thoughts, predictions, what could get banned, what isn't going to get banned, what could go to 1, 2, 3, etc. So, I'll be, of course, touching the top 4 decks as most other rogue decks and such, like Psyframes or Yusenju, Clyfort. I mean, let's be honest, those things just likely aren't going to get touched. Or at least shouldn't. So, starting with BA, or PK Fire, I can see a couple things happening to this deck, and for good reason. So, first of all, Dante, even though I really don't want to see Dante go to 3, mainly because, of course, once again, I said I don't want the meta getting touched, so we can have a big meta, but Dante's likely to get touched. He is likely to get touched. 1, 2, I don't think ban. Definitely not ban. Unless they really want to just kill BAs that hard, and they want to push people to be playing PKs. After all, PKs is getting support. That's why there's a good chance PKs won't get hit, because they are getting a new trap. They're getting, or not a trap, but I believe a rank up, and I'm not sure if that is a trap or a spell. But basically, they're getting new support. They are getting more support, so it would make sense why the PK engine wouldn't get hit. Things like Break Sword and whatnot, Boots, Cloak, those sorts of things. Their level 3's engine likely won't get touched. But BA, I honestly could. You put BA Dante to 1, you hit the deck significantly hard. I don't think Seer would follow suit, as Donovan said he would like Seer to go to 1. I don't see that happening. If Dante goes to 1, there's no point hitting Seer to 1. Though I could see Skarm or Farfa going to 2. Probably Skarm more than Farfa. I don't see Farfa being more of a problem than Skarm. Skarm at the end phase, during either end phase, gets you another Fiend draw. That's pretty powerful and can get you into plays, or a card that can get you out to the board or the situation you are in. So, basically, I just honestly think Dante or Skarm or Farfa, but more than likely Dante. Now, as far as, again, going back to PKs, I really can't see much more than Fogblade maybe getting hit. Again, support, so they're going to want to keep, they're going to also, want to keep money off PKs, but also PKs by itself can actually run pretty decently. It's really not that bad. It's actually a very stubborn deck. You can force max C's like with all your traps. Let's say you have traps, all 3 traps in Graveyard. You can banish all 3 and special 3 PKs. That can force a max C out of your opponent's hand. But the good thing is, it's on their end phase, so they won't be able to use those cards unless it's something like a max C. But PKs can go off good enough that a 1 max, or not max C, but I mean, it could get them into another max C, but what I'm actually talking about is Effect Viler. It can get them into an Effect Viler, and one Effect Viler could stun some plays with PK, but it's probably not going to be enough to the point to where when you just special summon 3 monsters on your opponent's end phase that it's going to matter that much, because PKs can push hard, and they can also be very stubborn. They can stun decently hard. You know, Break Sword going to, you know, sending, being destroyed and grabbing 2 things back to make it a level 4. Some decks run 2 Dark Rebellion, some only run 1. But yeah, I really don't think they'll hit Fogblade that much, but if they did hit I really don't think they'll hit PKs, but if they do, Fogblade is an option. Probably put it to 2, no more than 2, honestly. I can see it getting hit right there. And possibly Break Sword, but I don't see the point of hitting Break Sword when you're probably just going to get rid of Dante, and Dante's really the issue here, and BA's more really the issue here. Hitting Dante to 1 also allows you to still run, BAs in PK. It allows you to do that, so it's not terribly bad. The only problem is with Burning Abyss in the PK engine is if you go to the PK engine, you'll likely have to run all 3 traps at 3. So that's 9 traps at the minimum. And you'll probably might run a couple more traps. The problem with that is Burning Abyss cannot be special summoned while there's set traps. So it's a little hard. But maybe you only use the BAs to do a couple things like Seer or Graph or Scarm for that matter. Scarm, I could definitely see people putting Scarm in a BA or PK thing. Deck and just running again the 1 Dante and milling a couple cards, and there you go. It would fall back to the Phantom Knights. So yeah, I don't see much from the Phantom Knight part other than maybe 2 Fogblade, but again, I don't see it happening. And Boots, maybe, but again, I could see him going to 2. I don't think he warrants going to 1. I don't think he's that broken. I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to have another Phantom Knight to special summon him, and on first turn or second turn, that's not obviously hard, but also, he can come back through Fogblade. So, I mean, Boots can come back a lot, and he can also banish himself to get stuff like Fogblade, and that is strong. That is strong. Maybe it is broken, but I don't see him getting hit right now. Not after Worlds. So, what's the deck after that? Monarch, probably one of the people. A lot of people are saying it's the best deck, and I can see why. I play the damn deck for God's sake. I can understand why the hate for Monarch, and I was gonna say her as in Aether, but that does warrant. I mean, Aether does get hate, so So, what can I see from Monarch going? Well, definitely Pantheism going to 1, or straight up getting banned. Again, this depends on whether they want to weaken the decks or neuter the decks do they want to neuter the decks to make them weaker, but not so much? I guess we can put that into 3 things. Do they want to make them weak? Other words, just hit a couple things, make them weaker, still be able to maybe top or playable in the next meta, in the next format. Or do they want to neuter them, pretty much making them a tier 2 to rogue deck, so practically playable, but not as playable as it ever will be? Or do they just want to straight up crush the deck and kill it? My thought is there's definitely a couple things. So, Pantheism, that could get banned for sure. If they want to just kill the deck, that could get banned. But if they want to neuter or weaken the deck, they can make it go to 1. Pantheism offers a lot of things in Domain and Extra Deck. But the thing you have to realize is in Monarch is really, I mean, do they have consistency? Not really. It's more power level over consistency over anything. Their power is insane, but their consistency, not so much. When they brick, and they can brick hard. That's the problem. If cards like Tenacity and Domain to lower your level, that way you can actually put down something, and Pantheism Prime, those things do offer outs to get consistency. They offer a way to consistency. Pantheism being the biggest thing for consistency to that deck. And that's really, I mean, Pantheism's really one of the only ways to get to something that they want, and that's definitely with Domain and with Extra Deck. If you take it out and they don't, again, if they don't have a stellar hand, they're gonna brick. I mean, again, Monarchs are more about power, not consistency. Where if you look at maybe BA or Pendulum, they've got a lot of consistency. And maybe BA does have some decent power, and so does Pendulum, but I wouldn't put them at a power possibly as such as Cosmo, right? Such as Cosmo that has something that is not only consistent but powerful, that meets that midway. While Pendulums, I can also say meet that midway, but I think they still have more consistency than something. Well, I don't know. Sometimes scales can be a problem, but I mean Draco Pals, Oddeye Draco Pals, Magispector Draco Pals. I mean, those decks just have so much consistency and power to back them up. They have back row to back them up. It's insane. They have the power and consistency, but I don't think they have that midway as Monarch or something like that. If you put them on like a scale, or I mean Cosmo, if you put them on a scale, Monarch would likely have the most power. Then I would probably put, like in terms of power, it would probably be Monarch, Cosmo, Pendulum, then BA. But they're all still powerful. And then if you put them in a consistency way, I would probably put it BA. Probably Pendulum, Cosmo, but like if you put it in like a scale wise, like BA would probably be at 100. Pendulum's maybe like at a 70 to 60. What was I saying? Cosmo, then no, for consistency it would be BA, Pendulum, Cosmo being at like that 50. But well, just scratch that. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Basically, there's power level inconsistency. Cosmo offers good consistency in both, so does Pendulum. BA offers more consistency than any of the decks, and Monarch more power than any of the decks. Moving on from there, I rambled on a bit, so why did I go into that ramble? Well, again, that goes back to the power of Monarch. Their consistency isn't that great sometimes. That's why they have Pantheism. You hit Pantheism to 1, you're definitely hitting not only Domain hard, but Extra Deck or Brilliant hard. Zulkin, you're hitting things a lot harder. The thing is, though, in this circumstance, I don't think both Prime and Pantheism will go to 1. I think it'll be one or the other. If you put Pantheism to 1, I don't think there's much warrant to put Prime to 1. If you put Prime to 1, I don't think there's much warrant to put Pantheism to 1. Why? Because most of the time, the power play is having Pantheism and Prime in the same hand at the same time. The plus is insane. Or if you even have a Mega, or not even a Mega, such as Karaz or something, and you have Tenacity in Prime, more than likely you're probably going to put Tenacity in. You're going to use Tenacity, go for that Pantheism to dump that Prime and to use Pantheism. You're plussing so hard, so good, but I don't think it warrants that one or the other, or that both need to be hit to 1 or banned. I think one would go to 1 and one maybe go to 2, but probably one will go to will stay at 3 and the other will go to 1. Stormforth is very obvious. It's non-targetable, but it helps with smaller decks. So, I mean, a lot of other decks can use it, and maybe Konami won't like that. So maybe they will hit that to 1 or to a 2. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see Stormforth getting hit. No doubt. I mean, really? I mean, having Aether in hand, Stormforth set, activate Stormforth, then use Aether to get whatever problematic card you don't want to see. Like, you see Erebus be put on board, chain your Aether, tribute over their Erebus that they just tributed for, and if that's a Domain Monarch, they're screwed out of their play, likely, because they just tributed their monster, unless they used 1-for-1 or special their Edia for their Edios, where they can have another normal and an extra tribute. Likely that was their tribute for the turn, and you just disrupted their entire play by using that Stormforth to take their Erebus, the entire tribute, to put down Aether, to not only get Aether, but to put down another monster. Likely, maybe another Aether to bring a Karaz to for next turn. Or maybe you put Karaz out that turn. Or maybe you put Erebus out for that turn. Doesn't matter. still strong. Still strong. And that's when it comes to Aether. Do I think Aether will get hit? Absolutely. But if they're going to hit the spells, I think Aether maybe at 2 is fine. Erebus, I don't really see Erebus having the chance to get hit again because Aether just does so much more work. Don't get me wrong, Erebus is good. Erebus is strong. But I just don't see Erebus also getting hit with Aether. Moving along. Pendulums, Odd Eyes Dracopal, Magispector Dracopal. That's kind of what's being played right now, right? Right. If you see Dracopal, generally it's got the Odd Eyes in there. That's why I like to split the two. Is it Odd Eye? Is it just Odd Eyes with like Guiding Ariande and stuff like that? Or is it Magispector, where it's got Magispector and the Odd Eyes still kind of in there, but, they rely off Magispector and their traps, Tempest, Tornado, stuff like that. Raccoon is a possibility. If we're going to look at the Magispector part. Raccoon's a possibility. QB's a possibility. But I just don't think they're as strong as Kieran. If, again, they really want to hit that deck that bad to make it where it's unplayable, yeah, Kieran could get hit. But do I really think Kieran should get hit? I don't know. If they're going to hit stuff like Monkey Board and whatnot, I just don't think Kieran will get hit. Also, if they hit Sky Iris being at 3 to make your plays that much more better, and protecting your scales so that way if someone activates a Twin Twister, they can't hit both Sky Iris and Scales. They have to hit Sky Iris, and then, yeah. So, what do I think could get hit? Possibly Kieran, possibly Sky Iris, not the smaller guys, and probably not even the traps. But I could be surprised. Certainly, getting rid of Tempest could be great, Getting rid of their Raccoon or Kyuubi for free to negate specials or something like that. That's a free special. Just for having something on board. Whereas, like Solemn or Strike, you need to pay life points. That's pretty good. Plus, they're searchable. So, it's a possibility. I just don't see it happening. Kieran, definitely could see it happening, getting hit to 2. But if they want to kill the deck or neuter it, 1 or banned. But I just really don't see it getting hit more than 2 or if getting hit at all. Sky Iris, I could definitely see it getting hit. Monkey Board, banned. Yeah, I could see that thing getting banned. I don't like, honestly, when I watch a lot of videos when it comes to the TCG, talking about ban list predictions, I don't like going off of OCG. Like, people like that say, Monkey Board, Monkey Board just like OCG, so it definitely could get hit, or like Dante being at 1 in the OCG, so I could see it getting hit. I don't like following the OCG. TCG has its own format and has its own metagame, so I'd like to stick towards ourselves. However, Monkey Board is strong. It is good. Free scale, not only just free scale, but free draw as well. And that also leads to my segue to Sorcerer, Sorcerer gets 2 free scales, and it gets you either BFF, so Monkey Board, that is not only going to search you, probably Odd Eyes Unicorn, the 8 scale, but you're also likely going to get Lizard Draw. So you've got the, I think that's the BFF play. No, BFF is Monkey Board and Gi Turtle. You get a search, you get a draw. But of course, with if you have Sky Iris, then you could, it's good. That's good in itself because, since there's no Performapal in the other scale, which you could just sub the Gi Turtle out for the Unicorn. That's pretty good. Sky Iris could, get rid of the Gi Turtle, put basically that's what I'm going for. The BFF play is pretty much Monkey Board and Gi Turtle, and the other is the Pot of Greed play, which is Gi Turtle and Lizard Draw. But there's also the other play, which is with freaking, Unicorn now. Odd Eyes Unicorn, which is an Odd Eyes and a Performal Pal. So, Monkey Board, Lizard Draw, use Lizard Draw's effect, so you not only do you get a draw, but you get a search, so you can search for that Odd Eyes Performal Pal Unicorn, put it on scale. Now you have a 1 to 8 scale, and yeah, basically that. You have a 1 to 8 scale, and you don't even need to search for it if you have Sky Iris and you use Sky Iris on something else beforehand. So yeah, I can definitely see Monkey Board getting hit, because Monkey Board offers a lot of stuff. And Sky Iris could also get hit, because it offers a lot of things towards Pendulum. And also that leads into my other thing. Sorcerer. Sorcerer could definitely get hit to 1 or 2. What do I see more likely? Possibly 2 if Sky Iris and Monkey Board gets hit. If Monkey Board gets banned and Sky Iris gets hit, then I can see it going to 2. But you know, no, if Monkey Board stays in Sky Iris, you know, then I could see it getting hit to 1. 2, if, yeah, Monkey Board gets hit, it gets banned, and Sky Iris gets hit. So, that's my thought on that. So, yeah. And I really don't see Ignister getting hit. Maybe Dynastor could also get hit. It does allow a lot, but, I mean, most decks will run 2 or 1. If you hit it to 1, I mean, what is that really going to do? You know, Dynastor at 1, okay. It's still good. It's definitely still good. Dynastor's still definitely good, because it not only protects your scales, but if you have that and Sky Iris, Twin Twister's doing nothing, basically. Absolutely nothing. Moving on to Cosmo. Cosmo, I just really can't see that much getting hit. Most decks there's some decks that do run Planet, some don't. Basically none have Eclipser, so I don't see anything getting hit in that either. Fire King Island I could see getting hit. I also could see Cosmo Town getting hit. But this also brings all the way around. There's Sky Iris, Cosmo Town, and Fire Island. You know, 3 very, very good, you know, cards, field spells, with Terraforming at 3. There's also the alternative that Terraforming could also get hit to 1, if not straight out banned, to where basically those decks don't have the consistency to bust out their field spells. Yes, will you likely still see them even if you get rid of Terraforming? Well, it's likely, yeah, because then they'll just run them at 3. But I mean, Terraforming is there as an option. But I could see Cosmo Town getting hit. Honestly, it's a good card. Shuffle, reveal Cosmos, shuffle in there, draw the amount that you reveal. It's good. But whatever you banished, paying 8 or less to bring back whatever, or maybe even 10 if you're running Planet. So you're paying 1,000 to 1,000 or less. Really not that big of a deal if you have 2 planets, or if you can just get your planet or your destroyer back to your hand. Is it really that much of a cost? Not really. No. It's pretty good, honestly. So I could see Cosmo Town getting hit. Probably to 2. 1 if they don't hit Terraforming. 2 if they do hit Terraforming. Fire King Island, again, most players only run 1 if you've got Terraforming anyways. So, you know, what's it really gonna do if you're gonna hit Fire King Island to 1? So, could it get hit to 1? Maybe, but again, what's really the point if they only run 1 anyways? The other thing, Tin Can. Tin Can's pretty good. But do I think it's ban-worthy? No, I don't think it's ban-worthy. 1, yes. 2, yes. Probably 1 more than anything. But if they're gonna hit Dark Destroyer, which is what most people assume, and which I'd also assume would get hit to 1, do they really need to hit Tin Can to 1 or ban it? No, they don't. Tin Can's not really that much of an issue. I mean, yeah, they put it down at it. Cosmo players, you know, they put it at end phase. Put like something like Dark Lady, Destroyer, Landwalker to protect their stuff, you know. 1 through 6, any of it's good for them. You roll, you get Dark Destroyer, Dark Lady or something. That is pretty good. But mind you, at end phase, they likely won't switch Dark Lady for Tin Can. They'll just wait for your phase to do so. But and Dark Destroyer. They won't do it at end phase. Why? Why should they when they can just wait for you with their Dark Destroyer in hand, pop their tin can to banish, put their Dark Destroyer down, pop any problematic thing they see. Honestly, they're going to keep it. Landwalker, yeah, they'll probably chain it to put him on board, and again, that's, you know, he can make you target their Cosmo Town and keep your other guys safe. It's a very good play. Tin Can does offer a lot of good things. Cosmo players often probably want a Tin Can. They like Tin Can. But Dark Destroyer going to 1, I just really can't see Tin Can being warranted for banned or 1. But Dark Destroyer, definitely, I could see going to 1. And Dark Lady, also, I could probably see getting it to 2 or 1. I mean, but not really at the same time. I mean, Dark Lady, again, does offer a lot of good stuff. You pay 1,000, or is it 1,005? I think it's just 1,000 to negate something. And it's pretty good for that. And it's got a decent attack. I mean, 22 isn't, I mean, it's alright. It's decent. But her effect's amazing. And then if you're able to actually get her off field, again, they can just wait. Maybe they have a Dark Destroyer Landwalker in hand. They got the Landwalker from Tin Can, and they got the Dark Destroyer from Cosmo Town, you know. Maybe they, you know, swap out Tin Can for their Landwalker. They already used their Lady effect, so why not put out Dark Destroyer, hit something? Or maybe they can just Dark Destroyer, hit Dark Destroyer, banish it, get another Lady out. It's a plausibility. Destroyer opens a lot of you know, it opens a lot of combos for them. And Dark Lady, she does open, you know, good boards for them, you know. Lady with Cyber Infinity on board's pretty darn good. That's why also there's a possibility that Shuttle could maybe get hit. Shuttle with Town and Island, it opens a lot of combos, an insane amount, and same thing with Strawman. But do I think a lot of those will get hit? No. The main ones I think would get hit is likely Destroyer, Tin Can, and Cosmo Town. And I don't even think Tin Can would get that hard if it got hit at all, because if they drop Town and Destroyer, I mean, I just don't see, again, the warrant for making putting Tin Can to 1. Again, this goes back to do they want to weaken the deck or completely crush the deck? You know, if they want to weaken the deck, they probably wouldn't hit the Tin Can, then they'd hit Destroyer and Town. But if you go around and say, do they want to neuter the deck, then yeah, they could put Tin Can to 1. But if they want to completely kill the deck, put Tin Can to 1, put Dark Destroyer to 1, or maybe straight out ban Tin Can. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities for that, honestly. So, what else do I think's so aside from the top 4, what else do I think's a possibility for banning, or at least hitting? Card of Demise. I don't even think that's like a surprise to anybody for me saying Card of Demise. Card of Demise is definitely something that can warrant getting hit. It is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous card. But at the same time, it offers a lot of older decks to come back. And I like that. So, you know, can I see it getting hit? Yeah, it's likely, but does it need to be killed? I don't know. Brilliant Fusion, again, that would kind of bring a tear to my eye. Not really, but it would be a little sad to see it go. I mean, it's either you ban Seraphinite or put Seraphinite at 1, or you ban Brilliant Fusion. But I think Brilliant Fusion likely won't get hit as much as the thought of Seraphinite, you know. Brilliant Fusion's still there for Gem Knights, and if you got rid of that, then what's the point? What was the point of releasing it in the first place for him? Seraphinite's, if you get rid of that, then that enables Gem Knights to be able to keep their support card, but it also, you know, hits the fact that everybody can abuse the card. So, yeah, I can see that getting hit. I guess Norden's a possibility, but I think Norden at 1's fine if they hit Instant Fusion, I guess. But, again, I just don't see them going back to hit that. Rhoda, I don't see that coming back at all. I just don't. I don't. Dragon rulers? No, definitely not. Even though there's dragon support coming out, putting one dragon ruler in that deck for anything could be ridiculous. You put in oh my goodness, man. Just thinking about it. My goodness. I mean, shoot. I mean, you have your pendulums that have varied attributes, but would it really offer a lot? Maybe not. But BA, again, maybe not. There's not a dark. There's only a earth. There's only an earth, water, fire, and, wind. Sorry for hitting the mic, but again, that wind could come back at like something like Tidal, or not Tidal, Tempest could come back, and there's Magispectors could be a thing. Draco Magispector ruler. I don't know. You just can't. They can't. Shoot. What else? I mean, Thousand Eyes could come back to 3. It really doesn't do anything, so why not? Stratos, they won't bring back, but I'll mention it. It could come back. Not likely, since Konami hates the card, but I don't see why that card needs to be around when dead when Joker's still around, and even better. So again, there's another option for you. Joker could get hit. Mostly that's the cards I'd say are to be hit. If they wanted to go with some sort of surprise factor, Effect Viler, maybe. Maxi, maybe. Don't see it likely happening. They could hit some of the floodgates, but again, I don't see it likely happening. But as far as like thoughts and predictions, that's likely what I'd see as possible, and more than likely hits. But that's just my prediction. We don't know. This is Konami. I mean, there is an OTS pack that is coming around the corner that has Monarch stuff in it. Prima Super, Karazhan Ultimate, stuff like that. Why would they waste the opportunity to hit Monarchs if stuff like that's going to come out, So, got to take that stuff into account as well. But, this is just more than likely, of course. And I'm not a Konami person, so I can't say. I can only predict. Or I can't confirm. I can only say and predict. But I enjoy you guys for coming around, listening to my long ass video, because I'm sure it is long. But I wanted to delve deep into some stuff, and I wanted to hit popular cards and possibilities, But yeah, this is my ban list. So I thank you for sticking around. I would put time stamps into this, like BA, Monarch, Pendulum, Cosmo, stuff like that. If people in the comments below want to do that, they're also, side cards, like the Card of Demise. If you want to, if people in the comments want to timestamp those to show people, what I'm hitting at certain times, that's completely fine. But other than that, I think I'm good. I'm not really sure in terms of extra deck what could be hit, but we'll see. Anyway, other than Nodin, but again, we'll see. Also, other than Dinosaur and Master, but sorry, I'm rambling. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the long video. And I just hope you enjoyed the topic in general. I'm sure we'll be making a video when the ban list comes out. I'd like to more or less see it for the first time and give my reaction instead of, looking it up and then, talking about it. But, anyways, this is Seth from Schmick Squadron, and this is my ban list thoughts and predictions. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, birthday, holiday, I don't know, whatever time you're watching this. And as always, this is your boy Seth from Schmick Squadron. I love you guys. And yeah, I'll be signing out. Peace.